An American woman has decided to move to Afghanistan to reunite with her boyfriend of 2 years, despite warnings from many that it sounds like a scene from the movie Not Without My Daughter. The woman met her husband on Snapchat. They have only met once in person in Pakistan. After his visa was denied, she decided that she would move to Afghanistan instead. The plan quickly reminded viewers of the 1991 film Not Without My Daughter, where an American woman travels overseas with her husband and child, only to realize later that leaving is not as simple as she believed. In the movie, what begins as a family trip slowly turns into a fight for control, freedom, and escape. That is why many commenters are worried. They said the woman may not understand how different life could be under Taliban rule, especially for women. Some pointed to restrictions on women's education, travel, healthcare, and public life. The woman has said his family told her Afghanistan is not as bad as Americans say, but Afghan women in her comments warned that the danger is real and said she may have little power once she arrives. Some viewers think the story could be rage bait, but others say her older posts look real. Many said they hope she does more research before making the move.
This is Alex Sunny. She is a U.S. citizen and she is moving to Afghanistan to be with her husband. Yeah. This girl is an American citizen, and she is actively choosing to move to Afghanistan. And if you're thinking that they've been married for a long time and she has a really good reason to do this, you'd be wrong.
So we actually met on Snapchat in July of 2024, and we didn't meet IRL until December of 2024. So at first, I wasn't actually looking for a relationship, but we exchanged WhatsApp numbers anyways. I'm a truck driver, so of course I'd hit Gap all day long, and he was just really somebody that was easy to talk to. When I say talk, I mean we talked for 12 to 15 hours a day, like probably even more than that. I felt like I knew him forever when I met him. So at this point, it has been 2 years that we have been long distance. Well, not a full 2 years, but almost 2 years. And I am so ready to be with him, whether it's here in the U.S., whether it's in Afghanistan.
They spent a whole 12 days together in person, and I think this is when they got married, before her husband was deported back to Afghanistan because of the immigration bans imposed by the Trump administration.
My husband means the world to me, so I am not going to let somebody like Donald Trump determine the rest of our lives and our future.
So there are a couple things that stand out to me about this girl's mindset that are particularly alarming. If you scroll through her videos as she's talking about preparing to move there, she genuinely seems to believe that not a whole lot is going to change for her when she moves to Afghanistan. And it's posts like this that kind of solidify that when she says, POV, a man that doesn't even know what red pill content is. And I'm guessing the complaint is she doesn't like how red pill men view and treat women. Now, I am personally following her account to see what happens when she moves there, to see what changes happen, or if she's even allowed to tell us about them.
I'm going to address this video to the girl who is breaking the internet over moving to Afghanistan for a boy that she met on Snapchat. And it's very rare that you come across someone who has an experience or an opportunity similar to something that you faced in your past. So I want to talk to you and I want to share this story with you. And I know it's so easy to get wrapped up in the whirlwind of thinking that people are ignorant, they don't understand, you love this person, he promises he's a good person, which he might be. I'm not here to talk about Afghanistan, I'm not here to talk about their men, I'm not here to talk about even the laws that they have in place that limit your freedom and access to healthcare. We're not even talking about any of that, okay? Even though people have raised some pretty good, some pretty good points. I'm here to talk to you about the gravity of the situation that you are going to enter into by sharing a personal experience of mine. Back when I was about 19 or 20 years old, I was on Facebook and someone reached out to me on Facebook. Initially, I thought that I knew the person because they looked familiar, but it was basically kind of like a ghost account. They had a profile picture, but no bio. You couldn't see any of their feed, any of their friends, any of their family. But he struck up a conversation with me and he was like, I feel like I know you. And I was like, I feel like I know you too. You look very familiar. So I asked him some probing questions and I was like, okay, we might have crossed paths because he said he used to live in my city, but I don't really know. It's like giving weird vibes. But he turned out to be like a very genuinely nice person, okay? So we talked for months and months turned into 2 years. It turned into me being so comfortable with him, video chatting and Skyping with him all the time. talking on WhatsApp, messaging back and forth. I spoke to his mom, I spoke to his brother, he spoke to my mom. Like, it became this thing where he was just genuinely one of the nicest, kindest people, very like well situated, an engineer who lives in Kuwait, okay? He was Egyptian by nationality though. And it got to the point where he wanted to marry me. And I was like, for a lot of reasons, I was like, I feel like we just don't jive well. Like, you're such a nice guy, you're too nice of a guy, you know? I feel like I need a little more je ne sais quoi, you know? I don't know, like a little more excitement in my life. And so I rejected him for a long time, but we continued to talk, and it got to the point where he was like, no, I don't think you understand. I like you so much. I'm very well situated financially. You've seen the way I live. You've seen my mom. You've talked to my mom. You've talked to my brother. You've seen all my licenses. You've seen me on the construction sites. Like, you know that I have the means to take care of you. The caveat to all of this was that he wanted me to move to Kuwait. Now, Kuwait in the United Arab Emirates arguably has a lot more access and freedoms and liberty and, you know, access to like justice and advocacy than Afghanistan. However, at my young age of 19 and 20, something innately within me was still reasoned enough to know that it doesn't make sense to move to a completely foreign country where you're unaware of the customs, unaware of the language, unaware of how the society functions, their economic system, their laws for women and men, what rights you have, what rights they have. He would have been my sole financial support, my sole like social outlet, because I didn't speak the language, so everything would have to be translated through him. And so I'm moving to a place essentially away from my family, away from my friends, away from an education system where I was still going to school, to solely depend on this one person for all of my livelihood. And yes, he was an amazing and kind person. And for a second, I even said that I would marry him. But the thing that always stopped me was that he was so unwilling to come here. I had to go to where he was. And for me, that was the biggest blaring red flag, because considering what he was uprooting me from versus what I was going to, it could have been a very well-off life. But all of these other red flags and warning signs, alarm bells, were going off in the background.
I will not be addressing the woman who's moving to Afghanistan to be with her husband she's met all of one time and met him on Snapchat, because quite frankly, I don't think it's real. And not in the way like, oh, she's doing it for clickbait. No, the Taliban is known for doing this type of thing where they like pay people to make content about them that paints them in a good light. Yeah, that's something that they do, and they do it often. There's like whole documentaries on it, guys. This shit's not real. She's being paid by the Taliban. I don't know why none of us are saying it. She's not actually going. Again, she's being paid by the Taliban. That's why I'm not addressing it in any way other than this, because it's not real. Again, she's a shill for the Taliban. Why are you guys giving her attention?
Hello everyone, welcome to Belle's Take. My name is Belle. Now let's jump right into today's video. This story has sparked a huge debate online. A woman from the United States says she plans to move to Afghanistan to be with her husband. But many people are urging her to think carefully before making such a life-changing decision. Some commenters expressed concern about the challenges women face there, including differences in law, cultural expectations, freedom of movement, and access to work or education. Others argue that every marriage and every family is different, and that only she knows her situation. It's a deeply personal decision. Many agree it's important to fully understand the legal rights, cultural expectations, and day-to-day realities before making such a major move.
Did you hear about that American woman moving to Afghanistan to be with her husband after his visa was denied? Hey, yeah, I did. Has she not seen that movie, Not Without My Daughter? What is going on? So apparently this woman met her husband on Snapchat, and they've only met once in person in real life in Pakistan. And they've been in a 2-year-long relationship that's been obviously long distance. And because his visa was denied, that's why she's going to move to Afghanistan. Does she not realize that women in Afghanistan are severely mistreated, and that severe mistreatment is justified by the Taliban that runs the entire government? See, but that's the thing. She said that she's been talking to his family and friends out there, everything from aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, grandparents, and they all say that there's only great things happening in Afghanistan, and all of that propaganda that America spreads is not really happening. But there are literal women in her comments section that have escaped from Afghanistan that are saying that that mistreatment of women is still actively going on. And once she gets in Afghanistan, all of her authority belongs to her husband and there's no embassy there, so she is basically there by herself. Hopefully she does more research before leaving. I agree, honestly, be so for real.
Where are her parents? She's met that man one time and she's moving to Afghanistan to be with him. And she met him on Snapchat. And not only that, that girl keeps saying that she's still going to be a social media influencer in Afghanistan. What? Or the U.S. Embassy being mentioned. There is no U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan anymore. Who's going to tell this girl? It's almost like she's got it all figured out, but she's got it all wrong. And it is, like I said, frightening. They are even saying that she had a chance to move to Jordan because she has a dual citizenship there, and they didn't want to do that. Her husband didn't want to do that. You want to know why? Maybe this could have been her first sign to dip out of that trip. This is all the things that she enjoys over here in America that she's going to leave behind for this. For a man that she's met one time, and she met him on Snapchat. I need to know where her parents are. What do they think about this? Do they know about this? Or do you want her to do this? I mean, at this point, people even feel like she's rage baiting the internet. And I don't think this girl's rage baiting anybody.
To the lady that's moving to Afghanistan for the men she met on Snapchat, as an Afghan man myself, having been born and raised there, I got 3 advice for you. The first one is, sit your ass home. Sit the fuck down and listen to what everybody's been telling you. We're still trying to process and recover from the story of the French lady who was imprisoned in Pakistan for 12 years. And now you're going? Second, like, nobody's being ignorant. Nobody's saying all Afghan men are bad. Or nobody's presupposing a bad judgment on your man either. He could be a sweetheart. Who knows? For all we know, he's just a man. And that tells a lot, by the way. But anyway, the problem is, and what people are concerned about is the lack of legal guardrails. Lack of legal guardrails that you're not going to have when you actually gonna have to need them. My second advice to you is that, okay, if you end up going and you do not listen to everybody and you just go against the world and go and find yourself in Kabul and whatever that guy is, my second advice to you is to not live with his family past 5 days. Track your travel progress. Have a good sense of when are you going back. Third, everything goes to shit. You find that he's abusive, he's keeping you in, and you're being abused. My advice to you is, yes, maybe not try to approach authorities because they might not be on your side. Get back on your media, get back on social media as soon as you can. Reach out to other Afghans, whether they're in diaspora, whether they're in Afghanistan, creators particularly. Reach out to elderly people in Afghanistan, because in Afghanistan, most domestic abuse cases are solved or resolved through arbitration by tribal elders, not necessarily authorities. So do that if you can. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, Afghan women who are in Afghanistan or who are diaspora but have extended family in Afghanistan will not go to do that thing because of they're scared of the legal guardrails. But you would do that, but that's on you. But just somebody send this video to her, because I also just gave her like some pretty solid technical.
Others weren't buying the story at all. Some people believe that the entire video was nothing more than rage bait. Rage bait is content designed to provoke strong reactions and go viral. Others went even further, speculating that she had been paid to promote a more positive image of Afghanistan and its current authorities. However, those claims remain speculation, and there is no publicly verified evidence to support them. Even so, the theories quickly spread online, adding yet another layer to an already heated debate.
Get ready with me to move to Afghanistan with a man I met on Snapchat. So when I'm there, you can expect a lot of traveling vlogs and makeup vlogs, and it's just gonna be like a mini vacation, I guess. Look at one of the tops I'm gonna bring. So cute. I'm gonna wear that on date night. I know a lot of you guys were worried in the comments saying if my husband was abusive, I would just leave then. Like, obviously that's what I would do. But I know he's not abusive because I literally spent a week with him. And that tells me all I need to know about a person. I know a lot of you guys are saying it's dangerous, but me and my friends literally went to Chicago. And you know, there's black people there. And we didn't even get hurt. So what's the problem? I can handle dangerous cities. When I get there, I'm planning to do a lot of day trips and hang out with friends. So it's gonna be really fun for me. You can't show your face or talk in public. Okay, but I'm an influencer. I'm sure if like somebody has a problem, I can just show them that I'm vlogging. Like, Obviously, I'm an influencer. It's gonna be different, especially because I'm coming from America. Like, they're gonna understand.
As the debate continued, some people became frustrated that she didn't seem to be taking anyone's advice. Countless people had shared their concerns and urged her to carefully consider the risks. She still appeared determined to go. At that point, many felt there was nothing more they could do. Some commenters simply said, she's an adult. If she's made up her mind after hearing all the advice, it's her decision. Others argue that sometimes people have to make their own choices and live with the consequences, whether good or bad.
You mean to tell me that there is a woman on TikTok who is going to move to Afghanistan because her husband is so nice? Homegirl about to find out. I mean, I love women. I think women are the superior beings of this planet. I love women. I think they're amazing. And I would not go to that country, not even as a tourist. I've been seeing people going on visas to visit Afghanistan, women going to visit Afghanistan as a tourist. And hand over your card, girls. Give it. It's revoked. You are supporting a country that hides women's faces, that doesn't allow them education, that doesn't allow them a voice. Hand it over. But hey, the girl moving there for her nice husband, do you, boo. I hope that works out.
At the end of the day, only she can decide what path to take. Who can offer advice, share concerns, and point out potential risks. But the final decision is hers. Whatever she chooses, I hope she has carefully considered all the information, understands the realities she may face, and stays safe. This story has reminded many people that major life decisions deserve careful thought, especially when they involve moving a place with very different laws, customs, and living conditions. We can only hope that whatever happens, it leads to the best possible outcome for everyone involved. We have come to the end of today's video. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe and engage with the video so YouTube pushes it to a larger audience. See you in the next one. Bye.